Call the meeting to order.
I'll tell you about yourself.
Please stand for the pledge. Brian, will you lead us? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Chapman. Here. Drake. Here. Fox.
Here.
Hines. Here. Patton.
Here.
Green. Here. Tyler.
Here.
Young.
Thank you. Before we do the approval of tonight's meeting agenda, we're going to add action item E, so turn your page over, please. Action item E, $25,000 loan from water fund to sewer fund. Sam and Andrew will be enlightening us about that. So one more time. $25,000 loan from water fund to sewer fund. That's all I have to add. Does anybody have anything else they would like to add to the meeting minutes? Or excuse me, the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for tonight, February 19, 2022?
So moved.
Support. All in favor?
Aye.
Tonight's agenda is approved. Approval of the agenda from January 5th meeting. Minutes, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Public hearing. We'll open up the floor for the adoption of the 2022-2023 Budget and General Appropriations Act. All right. I will close the public comment for the adoption of the 2022-2023 Budget and General Appropriations Act. I need a motion to adopt, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Andrew, let's do a roll call since we're adopting the budget.
Will do. Chapman.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Fox.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes. All right. Thank you all. Police report. Scott gave you his police report. Bill, do you need to add anything to that?
No, I have nothing to add other than he's got some training, so he's not here.
Okay. DPW report. Sam.
You guys should all have a copy of that. I actually had my report with me this month. You'll see the first one is we had a meeting with USDA. John sat in with us, and that was for emergency response plan for the new wastewater system. We had to have that in place before we start getting any of our grant money. And John sat in on that one. I got a couple more on there. Sewer pump replacement at Maple Street condos. We've been fighting this thing for about 3 months. We finally got an electrician there today, and we believe we got everything up working properly now. Another one on there is I had a meeting with Brad Link about the State Street Bridge repair that we all approved a year and a half ago, whatever it was. As it turned out, the lake associations in the county got together and they wanted to do a hydraulic analysis of the waterways all the way out from 6 Mile Lake, all the way past Lake Bel Air. Reason being is in the spring of the year, from what I understand, is the people up on 6 Mile Lake, their properties get quite flooded. So we had to pull a permit from Eagle, and in order to get the permit from Eagle, it had to be put out to the public for comments before Eagle would approve our permit to do our bridge work. What the people to the north are afraid of, and the drain commissioner, Mark Stone, was afraid, is as we rebuild the slopes of the abutments at the bridge, we were gonna take the channel and actually narrow it down. So we would increase the flow going past the bridge, which would in turn back the water up farther up. So it has not been put out for bids yet. We're looking within the next couple weeks of Brad Link actually putting this out for bids for the repairs. We told Mark Stone, the drain commissioner, that I believe next week he gets the hydraulic analysis of the water flow. And we told him that we would not do any work. We want to work with him instead of against him until he verifies all that he has learned with Brad Link. And then at that point, we're going to physically put it out for bids.
Sam, can I ask a question?
Yes,
Isn't the water like dammed in Bel Air? Isn't the water table higher than it could be because the water is controlled in Bel Air?
Rob's a lot better person to ask him. He knows more about the height of there's two different heights, if I'm not mistaken, Rob, winter and summer.
Winter and summer, exactly.
Off the geological survey, because we have that at our bridge that they actually take it from.
Okay.
And what Mark Stone's afraid of is in the spring with all the wet weather we get in the spring, of course, it's gonna slow the water flow coming back this way at the bridge. Well, we assured him that the engineering is correct and it's not. And we had to, and Mark Stone's the one that wrote the letter of not approving the permit from Eagle. I want you guys to be aware of that. And then Eagle went through and did their research and said, no, we're gonna go ahead and approve it because we know Central Lake has to get the bridge repaired.
Okay.
So I'm hoping within a month, 2 weeks to a month, Brad will get back with us and say, hey, guys, we're gonna put this bridge out for bids. And then we'll know the deadline and all that stuff, because you guys will have to approve the contract. Add a bid, we'll have a bid opening, and then the board will have to approve it. I believe that's the way it works.
Didn't we put it out for bid before and we got no bids?
We got no bids, but keep in mind, our last engineer that put it out for bids estimated the cost at $40,000. Well, the proper bid's about $140,000. And we never had a permit from Eagle to start with to even do this, we found out. So we had to go through all them steps to get the permit to do it. So in ours,
Is Mark Stone trying to lay off the bridge on us as the problems that he has?
no, Mark Stone asked us if we would please work with him until he got the hydraulic analysis finished.
Okay.
Till the USGA service got it finished is all it was.
Okay.
So at that point, the people on 6 Mile Lake can't come back and say, hey, now we know we got a problem. So he just asked us to hold off for that long. And at that point, I didn't see a problem with it. Brad Link didn't see a problem with it.
Well, it's good that we work with them anyway.
And correct. It's a whole lot easier. And I believe our bridge is getting put out for bids with basically the same bridge type structure that's got to be repaired, same repairs, with the bridge in Elk Rapids. So we're hoping we get a bigger contractor to come in and do both bridges, one bridge, the other bridge, and actually cut maybe even the cost down and the time frame down. Because intermediate, the bridge is going to have to be shut down for a time. And at that time, we got to get with the fire department to let them kind of give them a timeline on how long that bridge is going to be closed.
And are we talking like next year, this year, next summer?
We're
this summer?
hoping, last I heard, Michelle, we're hoping to have it done by November 1st. And we will not let it go out over the busy holidays.
Okay,
We will not let it get started on the busy holidays.
okay. Because with the M88 stuff happening this year too, it's
Yep.
gonna be, ooh.
So
Lots.
approximately how much time is required to do that start to
I
finish?
believe he's gonna give them a 45-day time frame
45.
on the bid. I'll be able to answer you more when I get the email on all that it's been put out for bids, I will make sure you get the email so you have the same one I got.
Okay,
And that will all be spelled out in that contract, the time frame.
okay. And on the Eagle notice of authorization, I noticed a couple of things. Item E, no attempt shall be made by the permittee to forbid the full and free use by the public of public waters at or adjacent to the structure. It also says that any change or deviation for the permitted activity becomes necessary, you have to get a permit. So when we're moving riprap, we're running piling in, you don't want any public anywhere near there, so we have to shut the water off, or the waterway off.
What it is no public can be between the pillars in the embankment. Between the pillars, they'll still have access back and forth.
Oh,
Other than when excuse me, when the expansion joints are coming off top of the bridge, they could fall through.
well,
But
yeah,
that's a one-day job, is all that is.
so driving piling though, that's dangerous work.
But that's between the pillar and the embankment.
I know, but the boat goes close to it.
No, the boat is on the other side of the two pillars.
Oh,
Your navigation channel is here, you got pillar here. Your pilings are open, your sheet metal that they're driving in is on this side of the piling.
okay.
So the access way is still open all the way
The
through.
access way could be opened.
Yep.
All I'm saying is that that's the kind of dangerous work and you don't want public
And
near us.
and I agree 100% with you on that.
So-
Yep.
Just something I noticed, so.
Yep.
Okay.
That's about all I got in my report. I'd like to get, you guys has everybody met John? Sure. I hope you have. So far, he's been with us 6 weeks, working out wonderful, willing to learn on everything. Anything we do, he jumps right in on it. So very, very happy with him. You made a good choice.
You're just scared of him, he's sitting next to you.
No, he tells me all the time, don't do that, I'll do it. So like I said, wonderful, your choice.
I just want to commend the DPW for all the great snow removal they're doing in the village, keeping those sidewalks clear. There's a lot of older people that own the stores downtown, they have a hard time with the shoveling, and I want to just express how appreciative we all are of the job that you're doing.
And I also would go on to say, keep in mind, right now, you got 4 guys doing it.
Yeah.
In the future, you may want to look at a 4th guy coming into the door for the reason Michelle just said. We're not getting a whole lot of overtime cleaning curbs off snow, or cleaning snow off curbs this winter. Because we can come in at our regular scheduled time, because we got 4 guys.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too, with the sidewalks.
It makes a big difference, that 4th guy.
Yeah.
You know, I remember times when outlying sidewalks didn't get done till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes now, they're done by 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's great.
So, because we have 4 guys doing it. Down the road, you may want to consider that.
Township always has a guy in the winter. He can use it.
That's it for my report, guys.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. We'll be talking to you again on action item E, so. Let's see, correspondence. We have 1 correspondence. Subject, ordinance violation enforcement. I would like to know when violation of ordinance will start to be enforced. After I reviewed these, I've noticed that many of which I wasn't aware of. As I drive around, I see many ordinance must not be ever enforced, as I see old broken down vehicles in yards, trash in yards that make the other homeowners' property near those that don't clean up their yards look bad. Please advise us how these are enforced or when they will be enforced. Is this a seasonal enforcement? Christie Burkle, M88. All right. I will say that for vehicles, with the Secretary of State being closed 2 years ago, they did, I should say, people's excuse was that they couldn't get their vehicles plated, but now that the Secretary of State is up and running, I think everybody understands that they have to do online or call in to get an appointment. So we'll talk to Scott about that to see what his procedure is going to be. All right. Thank you.
Are we gonna officially answer her email?
Yeah, I'll email her back.
Thank you.
Let's see, streets, sidewalks, and lights, Mike Ring.
Nothing.
Sewer, water, rough.
We had a little water freeze up problem that Sam's gonna delve into, because he can say it better than I can.
We had 4 customers, their water meters basically froze up. And the reason being is they plowed over top of the meter pits. All 4 of them are up and going. We unthaw them with a exhaust hose that goes over the tailpipe of a pickup, believe it or not. We pack the meter pit with insulation, put them on there, usually within, what would you say, John, 20 minutes, half hour?
Everything's done within 20 minutes.
They come unthawed. And we tell the people, leave your water run because it's gonna freeze right back up.
So
And at that point, it's their problem and we do not give out credits on water bills for that reason. The only time we give out credits, I wanna make that clear, is when the frost is deep enough in the ground to freeze up our service lines. By our service lines, I mean from the main to the shutoff valve.
when we put a run water advisory on, that's when they get.
Well, that's even better yet, to say it that way. And right now, the frost is between 4 and 5 foot deep in the road. According to the county, 48 to 52, 54 inches. The last time I talked to Alan with the county, and he got his information from Bert with the county.
Gonna go down deeper Saturday.
I don't think it's gonna go down a whole lot more. I think we're about done. Don't you, Kip?
It's getting pretty close.
You know,
And still probably gain a couple inches, but
what a lot of people don't realize is it's the really cold weather and the bright sun
Sun.
that shoves it down. Cold weather, snow, cloudy, don't really push it down much. So,
Let's see. Law enforcement, Bill.
Scott asked me to mention that because our part-time officer was a code enforcement officer, that's a great contribution to our increase in abandoned vehicles or delinquent vehicles anyways. So that's a consideration too.
Anything else, Bill?
That's it.
Thank you. Communications, Kip.
none at this time.
We're planning a meeting though,
Yeah.
and looking at different, ways to improve communication in the village. So everybody knows, like, when the water's gonna be, when the boil water advisory is happening and stuff, that takes into account people that might not have a television on all the time or might not be connected to the internet. So just different communication stuff. We canceled a meeting, but we'll reschedule it.
All right. Thank you. Finance and personnel, Brian.
Nothing.
Parks and public property, Michelle.
Nothing.
President's report. Let's see here. New building update. The crawl space has been completely cleaned out.
Oh, yay.
Oh, I know, right? Warmer morning will now come in and encapsulate the crawl space, but it has to be a little warmer out for the foam to do its thing, I guess. The interior walls are studded. Let's see. We talked to a security company regarding locks, and we had an interesting conversation in that the locks we can get so that way you can remotely unlock the outside of the building. So if we had an outdoor event and we wanted to allow that bathroom to be open, and only the bathroom, you could actually do it from your phone. So that'd be another avenue. And then additionally, this costs more money. We could do the pavilion bathrooms too,
Whoa.
downtown. So that way someone doesn't have to run down there with a key. You could actually remote access the bathrooms and unlock the bathrooms, and then obviously lock them up at a certain
Did he
time.
throw you a price on that, Rob? Additional?
4,500?
Yeah, it was around 41 or 42, I think, so
Yeah,
45, be safe.
One time deal?
A one-time, what do you mean?
Like 4,500 total with no like subscription service?
Oh, good question. I
You
don't
have a
know.
1-year subscription for $40.
Yeah. What was the, yeah, so
That
this
was for both buildings?
No, that's just the pavilion.
To do the pavilion.
The office was a lot cheaper because it's all open. Like, they can run everything through the
Oh, I
subsidy.
see.
Yeah.
and they can still be open manually?
yes. So I thought that was something that we should probably consider in the future. Let's see. I attended the school board meeting on January 31st. I forwarded the whole presentation PowerPoint. It boils down to 24 million to bring the current campus up to code. Most of it would be remediation such as asbestos removal. We know how much that costs. Fire suppression, secure entry, lead abatement, strictly infrastructure, the physical outside appearance, except for the secured entry, nothing would change. That would be basically all you get for 24 million. For 40 million, you'd get a brand new building. Everything's demolished and you start over from new. If you'd like to be on the steering committee consisting of community, staff, and school board, contact Lenore Weaver and or Greg Shucks. So. Andrew, did I miss anything? You were at that meeting as well. Well, Kip was there too. Yeah. What did I miss, Kip? Andrew?
That was pretty much it. And then it's gonna be the near future, probably the next year and a half, maybe they'll put a bond together, bond proposal for vote for the people. So that's just what they were talking about, so.
How are they going to determine which way to go?
The board, the school board's gotta decide that.
What's the
Yeah,
steering
they haven't
committee
really,
for?
They'll have like public hearings.
yeah, they're working on it. It's just, it's been a working process for the last couple of years. I'm actually on that building committee.
Well, yeah, you're on the building committee too.
And they, basically what they're trying to do is what's gonna be better for the people, you know? When we bring it to vote, what's gonna be better, a new building or repair what we got? So, there's a lot of repairs to be done on it. Unfortunately,
buildings.
it's old buildings.
Either one, good.
I think Ralph was in part of the building.
Yeah, Ralph was in part of the.
So was I.
Oh, so are you, okay.
So was he.
Yeah, I see.
So were you?
You know,
Not why this building
So-
is curated, is it?
No.
Oh, well,
But you know, I think a
All
lot
the
of,
old part's gone.
I think a lot of communities are facing the same thing, you know, we all built our schools at about the same time. And if we didn't update them like when Charlevoix did back in the day, and, you know, I think a lot of communities are facing the same thing, all the infrastructure, you know, we're all dealing with water, sewer, roads, schools, you know.
shortage of funding to
Mhm.
keep up on everything.
Yeah, lots of years of being underfunded are coming to get us right now.
And that's,
Let's see, additionally, on January 18, I attended the Bel Air Chamber of Commerce community listening session. Purpose was to get different municipalities together, learn more about what we all needed in our communities and ways that the participation could work together, or participants could work together. So representatives from Alden, Bel Air, Central Lake, and Mansalona was there. We talked about linking the different communities together. And one of them, of course, was the non-motorized trail between Bel Air and Central Lake. Non-motorized trails are now called linear parks, folks. They're not called trails.
Linear park.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was and I had to ask.
Well, we've been silent for so long.
Yeah. Additionally.
Better funding probably.
Yeah, I don't know. We also are going to try to create an art trail day similar to the M88 garage sale. So that way, different communities that have pavilions and stuff that have different artists show their stuff and people could drive from one community to the other. So they're looking into that. So that was one of the things that we could do to improve tourism to the area. And somebody, let's see, who's running that? That was, Amanda Kick from Bel Air was going to lead that. And let's see, and I'm on that committee too. So let's see that. I had a meeting with Mike Allison, the president of the Village of Mansalona. And the reason we got together is because the Village of Mansalona will have 3 recreational shops up and running in 2022, and we'll have our 1. So, and as we've all talked about already, the community, let's use last year's numbers, each community get $28,000 per recreational shop. Matching funds of that go to the county. So if there's 4 recreational shops in our county times 28,000, the county will get $112,000. Well, Mike and I would like to see some type of profit sharing go back to our individual communities. So that way that money just doesn't end up into the general fund of the county, never to be seen again.
So this would be something that the commissioners would need to look at?
We're gonna try to get together with Terry Van Alstyne here pretty soon. Or whomever the new commissioner is gonna be, because they're going down from 7 representatives to 5.
Mhm.
But
When
so,
does that happen?
This year, isn't it? This year.
yeah,
May or November?
after
Are they consolidating? or-
they're consolidating. Andrew, when's that vote take place from 7 to 5 at the county?
For what?
County commissioners? Is
Probably
that a November deal?
Yeah.
Okay, so in November we'll know more. But I'd like to get the ball rolling on that, so that way they just don't
Yeah.
get their check and again falls into their general fund, never to be seen again. So he and I were in agreement on that. So hopefully that'll work itself out. Planning Commission meeting, February 17th. This upcoming, not this Thursday, the following Thursday, 5 PM at Mammoth Distillery. Planning Commission members are myself, Nate Summer, Patty Wake, Matt Gaberson, April Siddiqui, with Andrew being there to take notes.
February 17th?
February 17th. If you'd like to show up, that'd be wonderful.
Close at hand.
It's pretty close to your house.
I know. Just open the window.
If you could. That's all I have for President's Report. Let's see.
Way to go, President.
Well, thank you. Number 11, approval of the bills. Total approved $66,243.23.
I'll make that motion.
Support,
Roll call, please. We're spending money.
Chapman,
yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes,
Hines,
Yes.
Patton,
Yes.
Ring,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Motion carries.
New business, the M88, I called it the garage sale, I shouldn't have called it that. The M88 Outdoor Market Tour. That is June 18th, Saturday, June 18th, from 9 to 3, rain or shine. I talked to April Siddiqui, our chairperson for the chamber. She's gonna promote that people use our pavilion if they wanna bring stuff that aren't exactly right on the M88 corridor. Because last year we didn't use it, but the bathrooms did get used, so that's a bit of good news. And we're gonna go from there with that. Action items, close M88 for July 4th parade, and that's on a Monday this year. Any discussion on that?
do we have any updates on the construction at all yet?
Sam, Reith and Riley.
We have a meeting coming up, I forget what date it is, I got that on my calendar. At that point, we'll know more on the construction date and how long it will take. I will keep the board informed as to when we have that meeting. I think it's gonna be held here. And if I find out when that date is, everybody will be invited that wants to attend.
Just out of curiosity, do you know what the scope of the work is gonna be?
The last I heard, it's milling
Okay.
and some curb work and definitely all entrances into the sidewalk from all of M88. Because right now, our ramps are not ADA approved. So we have to change all the approaches going in. Some of the flower gardens are going to become an issue with the digging and the pulling out of the old sidewalk. So however it works out, we gotta work with them because it's within M88's right of way, state right of way. So, and I'll keep you informed on when that meeting is and what goes on if you can't make it. You're always welcome to call me and I can fill you in or whatever. And can't you roll A and B into the same one, Rob?
I didn't want to just yet.
Okay.
I thought, well, let's do this one first, and then we'll talk about Bachman's second.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to close M88 for the July 4th parade?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Close M88 for Bachman's on July 29. Michelle, you want to tell us what you got planned?
Sure, Bachman's is going to be 80 years old in, actually in June, but we are hoping to have a big party in front of the store on July 29th. I put it later on thinking that the construction might possibly be finished or out of the middle of town by then. We have the Pine River Jazz Band is going to play songs from the 40s and 50s. It's going to be just a nice event. Also, Fudgies is celebrating 10 years. And so I think they might do a little band after our band. So we're going to party like it's 1942, and then they're going to party like it's 2012. And so it's similar to what we did with our 75th. That's, I'm picturing it, just that block in front of the store being shut down, if that sounds good to everybody. And of course, having all the downtown businesses participate, Mammoth will do something, and I hope the tavern, and so that's the plan. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
So that's, the road closure would be from Old State to Maple.
Correct.
And you've talked to the other businesses on that already, Michelle, and
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
we've been talking. I've got the chamber knows what's going on. I haven't, approached everybody, individually yet. Although I did text everybody pretty much. So yes, I did. Everybody.
you didn't have any negative input then?
Oh no.
Okay.
Who would not want to have a party?
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
I'm ready.
I wonder if maybe we should go to, North Street. instead of-
That's what I was thinking
I
too.
think you're right.
To
Because
encompass-
you would get
Yep.
all that traffic coming right down by Classic Pizza and Chris. It might be better to move them one more
I
street to the
think
north.
that would be a great idea.
And then we could use those bathrooms too.
Yep.
Give us some parking.
And will the village, the village offices be done by then?
You're so cute.
We got the stair steps.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. I don't
Alright.
know.
So yeah, that would be fine.
Supply chain problems.
Right, to close it at,
COVID, Mask up.
North Street.
So I would make a motion to close M88 from State Street to North Street.
All right, I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
I need to abstain because it's.
Oh, you're gonna
directly
abstain? Okay, yep.
affected.
All right. Motion carries.
One more question.
Yep.
We talked after window night about possibly discussing closing M88 for window night because we had such trouble down there. I mean, it
Mhm.
seems
It's
like
too
there was just
It's very
kids running
congested.
everywhere this year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We
Good
talked
problem.
about, what's that?
Good problem.
It's a
Yeah.
great problem, but somebody's gonna get ran over.
Right.
We talked about Bill bringing in them big floodlights from the fire department.
Yeah.
When we apply for this permit, we put everything into one permit application,
No.
right?
No,
No, they're all
They're
separate.
all separate.
they're all separate. You have to apply 30 days in advance for each one.
Okay, so we still got time to
And keep in
discuss
mind,
with
you
them.
may not get your permit if MDOT has already authorized oversized loads to go through your roadblock. That's why they want a 30-day notice.
But I think maybe not tonight, but we need to discuss
Next month.
Next month.
Yeah.
window night.
All right.
Mhm.
Put that on next month's agenda, please. Thank you.
I noticed this year, I mean, there's just.
It's
every
great.
year's bad. It's great, but somebody's gonna get,
Yeah, we don't want anybody to run over.
you know.
When we get those lights, it'll give you the idea that it's warmer.
Sure.
Let's see, turning the page.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That'd be the Chamber of Commerce would probably, right?
Who applies?
Andrew, are you on it for applying? Okay, so Andrew's one that's gotta apply for the
Okay.
permits.
All right,
He's on it.
Turning the page over, action item C, approve budget amendments. Andrew, can you tell us what's going on here, please?
Yeah, so we had to pay the first half of the zoning thing in this fiscal year. So that's that one. Find the right paper. All right, and then debt service, we didn't budget enough to pay for the loan for the new building. Ron Donaldson's insurance was more than we budgeted for, so that's an increase of 275. Water operations, our wages were up from hiring a new employee, so those are the three budget amendments that we need to do. So that just keeps us out of hot water with the auditor when they come.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendments.
I'll second.
Alright. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Does this take a roll call vote?
Let's do a roll call vote. Andrew, roll call.
Spending money.
And Chapman,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Hines.
Yeah.
Pat,
Yes.
Rainey.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes. D, police vehicle pool fund resolution. Well, I'll just turn it over to Andrew, but just make sure we talk about page 7 on the budget.
So there has been talk on the village council wanting to establish a vehicle fund, just like Sam has for the DPW vehicles, to establish after the police car. So this would be the resolution that would allow you to do that. It can't go in number 7 because
Well, let's back up. So now on page 7 of your budget here, you'll see where it says all police stuff. And Mike Ring and myself, and I think Kip was in on that as well, we're like, well, why can't we just do a line item that says, what's the verbiage? Police vehicle pool fund. So we can show that we're saving money towards a police car. And municipal auditing doesn't, or not, municipal accounting doesn't allow for that. And that's where I'll let Andrew tell us.
that's
why.
correct. If you were to do that, you would budget for that, but every year would just roll back into the police fund. It doesn't save it from one year to another. So by creating this fund, it saves it from one year to another for specifically a police vehicle.
So where will this new line item be found? The last page.
So it will be Fund 662. So right now you have a
Very bad.
661, which is the DPW. And then you would have a like Fund 662, but it would be for the police vehicle. And right now it would be currently unfunded, but it would be established in case somebody wanted to donate to a police vehicle or money fell from the sky and you wanted to apply that to a police vehicle. So,
And other
That's-
extra funding opportunities. We
Yes.
would have a place to deposit funds.
or if we sold a police vehicle,
It would
then
fold
we
into
could
that.
put that into the future fund, so that way then it's earmarked for a future vehicle.
I think in the future, we need to use this fund with the intent of putting money in each year.
But aren't you saying then you can't rent the patrol car from yourself because your fund balance doesn't allow that?
That
Is
is
that what I
correct,
just
yeah.
heard?
Yeah, that's
Because
correct.
it's unfunded?
Yeah, it's unfunded because
So
they
keep
don't
that
have
in
money
mind.
in the,
If nobody donates, that fund will never go up right now.
Correct.
or if you don't sell a vehicle, I mean, you can sell.
Right,
one.
right, if you don't sell assets or something.
What,
It's not like my fund works, I get paid back no matter what, because
Yeah.
it's within the budgets that were established to pay them back.
What about that COVID money we got? Can it be earmarked for a vehicle?
If you so choose,
That is one of the things we can use it.
yes.
Just question.
Yes, if you choose to. Yeah.
Any questions on that?
Well, we've started the fund.
We started a
Well,
fund,
if you vote for it.
if we
We'll
vote for it.
All
I don't know,
right.
I'm feeling a little shaky about it.
Don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Can I get a motion to establish a police vehicle pool fund 662?
I so moved.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, like we start at the top of the, I'm sorry, what?
Who supported that?
We had
Somebody to the right, I
do
heard to the
Bill.
left.
I heard Rick, Mike, and then.
Okay.
I said,
Oh,
credit whoever you want.
One of us.
Everybody, all right.
Give it to Bill.
All right, sounds
Bill
good.
hasn't had very many.
No, that's.
Action item, we need a roll call on that?
No.
No. Action item E, loan of $25,000 from the water account to the sewer account. Andrew and Sam, either one of you can chime in and here anytime.
I'm gonna let Andrew take it over because he knows where the budget numbers are, and then any questions I'll fill in.
Okay,
So currently, with Gordy Fraser for this new sewer project, we've overspent the cash balance in the sewer fund by a few $1,000s. And we have sewer payments coming in right now, but I'm unsure if they're gonna cover it. They should cover it if people pay their sewer bills on time, but it's kind of a risky gamble, because if they don't, then we have to do a letter to the state saying why we're underfunded and a whole bunch of rigmarole. Whereas this way, we can loan $25,000 from the water fund interest-free to the sewer fund. And then next March meeting, we'll do another motion to pay it back. It just has to be there for the end of this month, at the end of the fiscal year. So that way, then the sewer fund isn't in deficit.
I assume the water fund is in good enough shape to do.
Yeah, though, there's 101,000 in the water fund, so they can afford to loan them 25,000.
And one of the reasons this happened is because we got a Hanley Lake Cove Condominium Association. We had a $6,700 sewer pump go out. We found out, we pulled it today, and it's gotta be replaced. Possibly up to $3,000 to rebuild a sewer pump. So we could be looking at costs just for parts as much as $10,000 for that pump. And it has to be, we have to replace it. We gotta put one back in the hole. We got one in it now. If that pump goes out, we're gonna pay A1 out of Kalkaska to sit there with a 15,000 gallon honey wagon to keep that structure sumped out.
So basically you had a spare and you want a new one, right? That's what you're saying? then?
No, we don't have a spare. What happened was 22 years ago when they built Hanley Lake Cove, I believe, they said, we're gonna supply you with a spare pump. The village said, we will not take over ownership of the wastewater system until you supply us with a spare pump. Well, as it turned out, the spare pump they supplied us with, we found out today, isn't even close to anything that was in the hole. So now we have to physically purchase a new pump.
So how are you handling it now?
It's got one pump in it right now. And if that one pump goes out, we can no longer pump any effluent out of all the Hanley Lake Cove. It's not good.
Okay, so you're talking about a rebuild or a new one?
We'll set a new one in the hole. We'll send our old one out that we got sitting on the shop floor right now and have them determine if that pump's worth rebuilding so we can keep a spare one on the floor.
Sam, who was the agreement with?
With what?
That they would supply a spare pump?
Hanley Lake Cove, probably 22 years
Do they
ago.
have any?
The owner of Hanley Lake Cove is what I'm gonna say. Now, it was all engineered. I can't answer your question 100%.
Do they have any liability?
After 22 years,
The
I can't imagine they
contract, we wouldn't have taken it over if we knew they didn't have a pump that would work in it.
After 22 years, I can't answer your
Once
question.
we
Bill.
accepted responsibility.
We are charging every condo up there and associate, every owner, a fee for their system per month to use that system. And what we say is, any discharge from the tank out is the village's responsibility, homeowner's responsibility is to the inlet of the tank, if you're hooked up to the city sewer. So when it goes into a lift station, yeah, it pretty much becomes ours. Somebody signed ownership of it. So we are 100%, my feeling is 100% responsible for the pump.
Right, but we accepted under, with the conditions, were they written down?
22 years ago, I can't answer that, Bill, I don't have them
Well, I'm just.
numbers, and that was before I took over.
Okay.
But they do pay,
They
For
pay
us to do this.
they pay a monthly fee for every unit that's up there.
okay,
So if you take the monthly fee of 16 times 32 condos, that's what you're making per month, times 12 months.
Yeah.
So they pay a fee to have it.
So we don't need a motion or nothing, you have to replace this, that's on.
Yeah, it's on, but we need you guys to approve the
the
transfer of the money, and it's legal to transfer money within
I'd
water.
like to make a motion
sewer,
to loan the sewer department from water $25,000.
I'll second that.
And it may not even happen.
Right.
Got a motion on the table, I second. Andrew, roll call, please.
Chapman,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes,
Hines.
Yeah.
Patton,
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yep. Just in closing on this, the reason our sewer fund is so depleted is because we had some upfront costs to the drain field, rebuilding of that. And that money will be recouped once our,
USDA.
USDA grant comes through. So that's the reason why our sewer fund is so depleted. So just bear that in mind, that we're not underfunded in any way. Old business. All right. Public comment.
I've been sitting here debating whether or not I should make a public comment, and I believe that it's necessary. I'm very disappointed in a council member that they decided to come here with COVID. There's a 5-day quarantine period, and following that 5-day, you should have a mask on, according to the CDC. Also, the building now has to be thoroughly deep cleaned or closed for 7 days. And I didn't have a choice whether or not to be here. This person did have a choice whether or not to be here with COVID. I have to be here. It's my job. I'm required to be here. And I don't think that it's very right or fair that we all had to be subjected to this.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
So moved.
second.
All in favor? All right. Thank you all for attending.
See you in the morning, Andrew.
Yes, please. Well, we can't be here.
Pardon?
We can't be in the building.